Hello and welcome to the first installment of the New York Jets 2020 season preview presented by Dunkin. I'm Eric Allen. In just 2 weeks, the Jets will embark on an unprecedented season during uncertain times. Following a virtual spring when the green and white never took the field together here at One Jets Drive, players returned in late July and began COVID-19 testing. That was followed by an acclimation period before things ramped up and finally practices resumed.
How's it feel to be back, Le'Veon?
Feel good. Feel good. It's gonna be fun, man. Let's go. You already know what time it is. It's time.
Feels awesome. It's about time.
But before training camp began, Jets GM Joe Douglas made one of the most significant trades in franchise history, sending two-time Pro Bowl safety Jamal Adams to Seattle in exchange for a package that included 2 first-round picks and starting safety Bradley McDougal.
Boom. Jamal Adams for 2 first-round picks, a 3rd-round pick this year, safety Bradley McDougal. I was stunned that the Jets were able to get this kind of a haul.
I think our initial talks regarding the trade were probably wrapped in a conversation about something else to start with. And then the topic of the trade came up, and then it just went from there. We realized how aggressive Seattle was and how aggressive their offer was, and it really matched up with some of the things that we were trying to accomplish. It gives us great flexibility moving forward, not only on the college side through the draft, but also in trades as they come up. So, having 4 first-round picks in the next 2 drafts, sitting here for the 2021 draft with 2 firsts, 2 thirds, 2 fifths, it's an exciting opportunity. Being able to get a player like Bradley to bring in with guys like Marcus May, who had a really good season last year and who we're all excited about this year, and a guy like Ashton Davis, who brings a lot in terms of versatility and in terms of speed. But to bring in a guy like Bradley McDougal, a proven veteran, a proven starter, going into year 7, a guy that's been highly productive, a guy that's a consummate professional, extremely smart, extremely savvy, always assignment sound, and productive when he gets his opportunities. 10 career interceptions, 5 interceptions over the last 2 years. So he's made the most of his opportunities when he's had a chance to get to the football. We lost a hell of a player. I mean, that goes without saying. But being able to bring in a proven starter like Bradley, we're excited to add a player like him to our building.
Douglas' swap with Seattle was only the 2nd trade since the 1967 Common Draft, in which the Jets received 2 first-round picks. And they can continue to build around Sam Darnold with some of that draft capital. Sam Darnold improved in year 2, and Bob Wischusen, the voice of the Jets, thinks Darnold is only going to get better in year 3.
Well, if you go back and look at all the quarterback prognosticators, the draft gurus, the guys, I'm going to rank every offense in the NFL. Look at where they all cumulatively have ranked Sam Darnold as a quarterback. They have guys that haven't taken a snap yet in the NFL, like Tua and Joe Burrow ranked ahead of Sam Darnold in terms of where they would rank NFL quarterbacks right now. To me, there is no quarterback in the NFL that I think has a brighter future and is being talked about less flatteringly than Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold is a $20 stock right now selling for $1. So, to me, he's the last problem the Jets have to worry about. The idea that if they have a tough year this year, they're going to be packaging picks to go get Trevor Lawrence. You tell me right now who the Jet quarterback is in 5 years, I would bet my house that it's Sam Darnold. So I think he's going to go out and have, even without them spending a ton of money on the skill positions, I think he is going to go out this year and have a tremendous season. And I think by the time the year is over, and I'm not even talking about like what the record is or what I think his numbers are, I think you'll just watch him play, and by the time we get to the end of the season, assuming he stays healthy, everyone will say, oh, the Jets have their quarterback for the next decade.
Coming up, we'll take a look at how Le'Veon Bell spent the offseason getting ready for his 2nd season with the Jets.
This is gonna be the first opportunity where I get to show dang, I get to be special. I get to be special this year. I'm really the player. I'm at my weight I'm supposed to be at. I'm supposed to be my speed I'm supposed to be at. I'm at my strength. This is the first time in my career I've ever felt like that. weight room cardio.
Welcome back to the New York Jets 2020 season preview presented by Dunkin. I'm Eric Allen inside the BetMGM studio. Last season was a disappointing one for Le'Veon Bell. He averaged career lows with 3.2 yards per carry and 4 yards per touch. Bell came to camp extremely motivated and in phenomenal shape. After playing at 225 pounds in 2019, Bell weighed in at 210 pounds with just 4% body fat. After running behind an offensive line that was decimated by injuries last season, Bell will have a revamped unit blocking for him. The fire is raging for Bell, and he got ready for this season working inside the ropes.
Let's go. Oh. Hold your pump. Boxing is just, it's like a mentality thing, right? When you're fighting, when you're boxing, you don't know how far you have to go. You don't know how much energy you have to expend. You literally don't know. It's the unknown. Even when you're tired, your body is still performing. So when people are slowing down, you're still at the same speed.
Come on, you're a fast mighty work. Come on. Come on.
That's what boxing helps provide. I was ready to play football. Like, I had the itch to get back to play football last year. I didn't have everything else ready, or I didn't have my body ready, how I needed to have my body ready to be special.
This is the difference.
This is gonna be the first opportunity where I can show, like, dang, like I get to be special. Like, I get to be special this year.
Come on.
I'm at my weight I'm supposed to be at. I'm supposed to be my speed I'm supposed to be at. I'm at my strength. This is the first time in my career I've ever felt like that. What could take me to the next level is not necessarily competing with nobody else. I gotta compete with myself. It's all like about me. It's about how far can I go. When I get to the game, it's like I feel like I'll be able to go all day. If I'm boxing, I feel like I can box 12, 13, 14, 15. It don't matter how many rounds, I can just keep going. I love how like nobody really gives us a chance, and you got to use that for fuel too. Like, this is the best I've ever felt, so I'm eager to see, you know, what I'm able to do this season.
The New York Jets season preview is brought to you by Dunkin. We'll keep making the coffee, you keep running. Welcome back to the New York Jets 2020 season preview presented by Dunkin. Sam Darnold describes new Jets wide receiver Rashod Perryman as a big dude who is everything you want in a receiver. Perryman, who tied for the NFL high last season with 14 catches of 20-plus yards in weeks 13 through 17, slowed down last week to talk about his new surroundings with myself and Ethan Greenberg on the official Jets podcast powered by AWS. Rashod, what can you tell us about the play of training camp so far? The long bomb from Sam Darnold to you.
I was a number 3 receiver, so closest to the inside, you know, to the lineman. And I seen the single high safety. So I knew I had a corner route, so I knew I was going to have leverage on him and, you know, that this ball could potentially go up. And, you know, God willing, Sam threw a dime, man. I just came down with it.
What has to happen for this receiving group that's relatively young and has a lot of new faces like yourself? How do you guys make up for lost time in the spring that you would have had here at the facility if not for the pandemic, and now you have to make up for lost time on the field?
For the most part, man, we just gotta, you know, put our head down and work hard. You know, take advantage of every day, every play, and be very detailed about our work, you know, and everything. You know, this year more than any other year.
Ethan probably might not remember your father, but I remember your father. What kind of influence did he have on you growing up? And also, I wanted to follow up and ask, how is he doing?
Oh boy, man, he had a huge influence on my life in this football world, man. You know, that's all we did really was grind. You know, when I was young, As far as anything I really put my mind to, we focused in on that one thing and just grinded. Like that's all he really taught me, and that's all I really know. And yeah, and for the most part, he's doing good. He's here. That's all I can ask for.
Rashod, you had mentioned that you're a rather reserved guy. You like to hang out just kind of by yourself. But what do you like to do in your free time?
Free time. Let's see. I just go home, man. Chill with my lady. May play some Fortnite on a day off. But, you can't, during this time you really can't do too much. So I mean, on a typical, if we was living in a normal life, without the COVID, I'll probably go out to eat to some restaurants. I don't really do too much, man. Just like laying low.
You're still on Fortnite, Rashod?
Yeah, man. That's all I play for the most part. I tried to Call of Duty, but I'm gonna start playing it again. I'm just not that good at it.
Yeah, I don't like Call of Duty either.
So, a more serious note, how strange is this training camp? And when does it become ball is ball, football is football? Because you guys are walking around the facility, you're in virtual meetings at times, your coaches have masks on, you're getting tested every day. What has all that felt like to you?
I mean, of course it's different, nothing like we ever, been through or ever would have imagined going through. But yeah, it's been pretty different, as far as just having meetings online on the computer all the time, and not being in a facility. Training camp, you used to be in a facility all day for the most part. But it has been different. But as far as when we get out there with practice, the coaches wearing a mask, that's different too. But at the same time, practice is practice. So I guess I'm not really ever thinking about like it's kind of weird. Everybody got masks on. When practice time, it seems normal. That's the only time it seems normal for the most part.
Real good, man. Nice fit. Love the green. Loving it.
Hey, I was on Twitter before we came into the studio here, and fans were having a debate on who to draft for their fantasy teams, Rashod Perryman or Jamison Crowder. Maybe they should draft both of them, huh? Because I saw both you and Crowder out there making plays, and Jamison was so successful last year in this system, and you really flourished down the stretch last year in Tampa, and you seem like you're gelling well with everybody.
Yeah, man, that's the only way. You gotta draft both of us. I ain't gonna tell you to pick me over him. That's not gonna happen. I need my brother with me.
Well said. Well, Perryman signed in free agency. Jets GM Joe Douglas added 9 new players in April's NFL draft. We'll look at that 2020 class coming up next. The New York Jets 2020 season preview is brought to you by Dunkin. We'll keep making the coffee, you keep running. Rookie safety Ashton Davis delivered a wow moment this summer with this backflip. Woo! Davis, a California product taken in the 3rd round, was one of the Jets' 9 draft picks. GM Joe Douglas said time will tell how the class stacks up, but he thinks he added a lot of high-quality football players. Entering the draft with needs at tackle, wide receiver, cornerback, and edge, Douglas landed the offensive lineman with arguably the highest ceiling in the entire draft in 6'7", 364-pound Mekhi Becton. The number 11 overall pick was recently featured on the Emmy Award-winning One Jets Drive.
Throughout his short time at One Jets Drive, the 6'7", 360-pounder is already turning heads.
When you look at him, he looks like the mountain, and it's awesome, It's intimidating. He looks like the Great Wall of Green.
You could tell he's like a guy who literally wants to hit people. Like that's all he wants to do. He don't want to play around. He wants to just run into somebody and smack them. You know what I'm saying? I love that.
With Mekhi, you get a sense that he's swimming right now?
Nope. Not even close to swimming. He looks like he's been doing this for a minute.
I met him early in December. We've got him in a group with like Teron Armstead and, some other veterans. And like La'el Collins from the Cowboys, and like there's stuff that he does when we're training, and like we just kind of look at each other and go, you know, it's rare, and it's extremely rare to get a guy with those type of gifts and those physical traits, and then it's really rare for a guy that's 6'8", 364 pounds to be that long, powerful, explosive, and just completely, he plays like a complete animal. We knew he was going to be special with just how he worked and some of the mock combine stuff that we did down at Michael Johnson's Performance with Brian McCall and Aaron Piper.
When he down blocks, he just takes everybody with him, and he's moving pretty good.
Oh my word, somebody that large running that fast.
So he ran that 5'1", kind of with a hamstring strain. We had projected him to go sub-5 based upon the mock combine. We had him around like 4.99, 4.98. If we hit a good start, he would have hit something really special.
It's now my honor to announce that the first ever virtual NFL draft is officially open.
It was really exciting, nervous.
The New York Giants select Andrew Thomas.
We thought he was going to go higher. So, you know, it was getting tense, like, why isn't he called yet?
The Cleveland Browns select Jedrick Wills.
Hey, Makai, it's Joe Douglas with the Jets. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Coach. How you doing?
I'm great. How ironic is this?
Once he was called, that was all she wrote. And again, he's where he's supposed to be.
It's just a moment I can't forget. Like, I'm getting chills just talking about it right now. It was just great hearing Roger Goodell say my name at the 11th pick. It was amazing.
After being selected 11th overall in the NFL draft, the grind didn't stop for Becton. He attended the OLine Mastermind Summit, hosted by Duke Manyweather, to pick the brains of the game's best and brightest.
I kind of always had this idea of how I want to have like an O-line clinic and summit that was more of an open dialogue forum. Essentially, we come in and we talk everything under the sun when it comes to offensive line.
If you're in your stance and you kind of got your weight shifted back if you're a guard or a tackle, they're going to cue when you start to put that toe down and push off, because a lot of you guys do it on tape.
Provide a space to really allow talk and dialogue for all things offensive line development. We open up the floor and allow people to tell their stories kind of with their experience, what to do, what not to do against certain guys.
The hands is the biggest difference from college to the NFL game. Like training with Becton with the Jets now, we was just doing sets and he was real tight, double hand striking as we were going through the simulation. And I'm a guy that put some space between my hands, because when the two-hand strike works, it works. And somebody as big and strong as him is going to really work, knock somebody off their feet. So if a guy is rushing Becton and he swipes with one hand, he can get both with one swipe. Having the space between, especially with his limbs, he can swipe one, he still got another hand in order to protect himself and to block with.
There's a lot of people who helped you along the way. What does it mean to be here and be able to start performing for them?
That means a lot, because I can finally go do what I've been wanting to do all my life. So I mean, it's definitely great. It's a dream come true.
They're getting a good kid, well, good young man. Off the field, he's humble. He's a big teddy bear, but on the field, he's totally different. He's a totally different kid.
He has a lot of the same traits that some of those Hall of Fame guys have in terms of the mental makeup, the size, the power, the strength, the athleticism, the critical factors for the position. And I've been around Jonathan Ogden. I've been around Willie Rowe. I've been around a lot of the very all-time greats. And to me, Makai reminds me of some of those old school golden era offensive tackles, but with some of this new school athleticism that you see from your Lane Johnson, Teron Armstead, Laremy Tunsil.
I want to be putting on the gold jacket. That's my plan right now. For the team, I want to make the playoffs. I want to win.
As Frank Gore said, Mekhi Becton, he's just different. The rookie has rare size and athleticism, and the Jets hope Becton will be a foundational pillar for many years to come. We'll be back next week for our final installment of the New York Jets 2020 season preview, presented by Dunkin. The Green and White don't have any preseason games this summer, but we'll take you behind the scenes of their scrimmage at MetLife Stadium. For all of us at One Jets Drive, Stay safe and stay strong.